Bam! What's up, guys? Hope y'all are having a great week. Hope you guys are having a good day wherever you're at out there in the world. Hope you are being positive, making things happen, and most importantly, I hope you're enjoying life because that is what life is all about. Life is for us to be, life is for us to enjoy, not for us to be negative Nancy's. That's enough on the intro. Over. All right. I want to talk to you guys today about so let me preface this by saying I mentioned in some other videos, and this will be something I dive more into as the channel starts to grow and we start to collect more and more views. Um, I'm a sales guy. I so I'm gonna give you a background here. When I was growing up, I was a musician and I play guitar. I've got several guitars over there. Um, and so I've been playing guitar since I was 11 years old. I'm 27 now. And all I wanted to do from the time I was like 12 years old to the time I was, let's say, 22 was play music and figure out how to be a famous musician now, right? I was into rock music, heavy metal, played in a metal band for a year or two, and that's all I wanted to do. So when I went to college, I went to college like most people go to college without a plan. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. Uh, but it was what we do when we graduate. We go to college, or you go to the military, or you just go work in a factory somewhere or whatever. I wasn't going to do those things, so I went to college. I was actually in my first semester studying. I wanted to work with computers because I thought, oh, I could be a software developer or something like that, and I can make $90,000 a year or whatever. Whatever seemed like a lot of money back then to me. And so I did it for a semester. And in my freshman seminar class, when you go to university, you have like a seminar class usually as a freshman where they teach you about campus, where things are, how to use certain, like the tools and stuff that, they talk to you about different majors and stuff wherever you're concentrated. So I was technically a part of the business school. And in this seminar one day, we were going over all the majors and minors and concentrations and stuff. And I was going back and forth in my head. I really wanted to study music, but I didn't want to get a music degree because, well, I'm not going to say that that's 100% pointless, but it's a lot of people get music degrees and end up working at Walmart. I'll say that. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't have any plans on teaching music, but I wanted to be in the music industry. I just didn't know what to do. And at that point in time, I was wanting to make it as a band and stuff. And so one of the majors that my teacher brought up was music marketing. Now, it wasn't a music degree. It had music classes in it, music industry focused classes, but it was a marketing degree. It was actually a business degree. And I literally went after that class and changed my major. Um, and so I was studying that for a while. Realized at some point I wanted to stop going to college. I quit. I took a year off, and that's around that time that I took off. Maybe the year leading up to it is when we had formed a band and we were playing, all over. I was in Kentucky at the time. So playing in Lexington and Richmond, Kentucky, Cincinnati, a lot stuff like that. And I thought, man, if I can figure out how to do this, this is what I want to do. And perhaps I should have. I don't know. At some point, what you realize is being in a band is really, really fucking difficult because you have 4, 5, 6 people who all have their own creative influences and want to participate and those sorts of things, and they want to contribute, and ideas get thrown around, and then somebody doesn't do something, they're not progressing at the certain rate. What happens is if you form a group of people, at some point there's a leader that has to be holding it all together. That's just how things work. There's no fucking organizations or groups on earth that are completely egalitarian, if you will. There's always somebody at the top who's the leader. And then there's other lead. There might be a group of leaders at the top, right? But there's ultimately usually one person that's in charge, or a small group of people that are in charge. And so I realized, this is a headache. This isn't worth the squeeze, whatever. I'm done. And I was not going to college at that point in time. I went and worked a shit customer service job, call center stuff in Lexington, Kentucky, where I was living at the moment. And one day, it was during the middle of like right after things had got locked down for uh, the pandemic, and I was like, you know what? I need to finish what I started because this stuff out here is way harder than I thought. And it would be so much easier if I could finish college and in 2 years, 2.5 years, get out and go make 60, 80, 90, $100,000, or somewhere. Or, in my mind, I was like, shit, if I can make 55,000, I'm good. And I went back to school. I got involved with the sales center because when I was in college for the first go around, I was not active on campus. I didn't do any extracurricular stuff. I wasn't in any clubs. I didn't do anything like that. This time around, I'm going back. I'm going to make something out of it. I worked on myself a tremendous amount. So I built up this level of charisma and confidence and whatever. And I went back and I was a totally different person. I got involved in the marketing club, and then I found out about the sales club. Long story short, I got involved in the sales club, was thrown into a leadership position in the club. I became the president. I learned all about sales. I didn't really know what sales was. I knew a little bit about what sales was because I was actually selling Cutco. If you guys are familiar, kitchen knives and stuff. I was selling that to friends and family and friends and whoever would like listen to me talk about Cutco. I could sell them something, right? Made a couple $1,000s there doing that. So I thought I'll give this sales thing a try. I got involved in the sales club. I really learned a lot about sales in my time in my education. I adopted a sales minor, and I absolutely fell in love with the art and craft of selling and being a salesperson. And I saw the value and the utility in learning how to sell something. And from a professional stance, if you can figure out how to sell something, that's like 80% of the battle. The rest of it is just figuring out how to deliver what your service or your product is, and manage that stuff. Maybe it's not 80-20, but you get the point. I mean, that's half the battle, is getting customers. If you don't have customers, you don't make money. And so I got involved in sales, and I learned about the sales process. So stick with me here. We're about to bring it on home. We're about to bring this shit home. I know it's been a long story. I learned about the sales process. Generally speaking, you meet a customer, you have a call with them, you have to build rapport. That's, there's an introduction, there's pre-call stuff that has to happen. But once you're, in the sales call, if you will, I have to build rapport with you. Oh, I saw on your, I actually followed you on Instagram, or I followed you on LinkedIn, and I see that you graduated from, this college or whatever with this degree, and you were the captain of the football team. That's cool. What did you always play football? Blah 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 blah. I love football. My favorite player is this. Building rapport, right? That's a crucial skill in learning how to sell something. You need to make people like you as fast as possible, and you need to make them trust you as fast as possible. And so you do that, and then you go through some discovery, and you're going to get objections. This is too much money. We don't have the time for it. Blah blah blah. You figure out how to overcome those, and then you close the deal, and you get a contract, and whatever. Right? It's simple sales process in a nutshell. One thing that I learned. So first of all, I want to reiterate, learning to sell something and being a good salesperson is a fucking superpower. It is one of the most valuable things that anybody can learn to do in their entire life, and I will fucking die on that hill. Learning to be a good salesperson, if you could be a good salesperson, shit, you're gonna have a pretty sweet life. You can, that trickles into dating, that trickles into other organizations that goes into leadership. It helps you get people to like you. It helps you with meeting friends, building out a social network. All kinds of stuff. Um, and so one thing that I figured out, and it's kind of I was never told this, but it's just this is one of my things that I do to make like really 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 quickly um, either make friends or make people like me or it's a part of charisma and I think that a lot of people struggle with like social anxiety and they find it hard to make friends and they're all awkward and they have to go through their entire life and they don't really know any of this stuff. It's all teachable, first of all. And I spent all of my college years figuring out how to talk to people and make friends and dating and, you know, building out this personality. I was always obsessed with uh, social skills, right? I was always drawn to people who were like, really charismatic and entertaining, eccentric people. I always gravitated towards following them and being interested. So, one thing that you guys can do that will drastically improve your ability to build rapport with people, make people like you quickly, enhance your charisma, and give you almost this like supernatural ability to quickly take a stranger and turn them into somebody that you don't feel as a stranger anymore. It's very simple. Um, and this works with dating. This could work with job interviews, which goes a long way, right? People hire people who they like, not necessarily if they have the qualifications or not. It's a lot of times it's if they like you, despite what a lot of people will tell you. Um, this will help you in business to be able to close more business, make friends. This will help you whenever you're molding new relationships. This will, if it was going to take you, I don't know, let's just say this can cut that in half or into a third the amount of time that it would take um, to establish a connection with somebody. And what you do is it's very, very, very fucking simple. I need you guys to listen to it. It's so simple. It sounds stupid. Um, but act when you meet somebody new, act like you already know them. Act like you already know who they are, that act like you've already spent weeks and weeks and weeks with them. Act like you know their family. Act like you've worked with them. Act like you've been out to eat with them. Act like you've had parties with them. Act like they're already your friend or that you've already if it's an opposite sex or the same sex, whatever. Like if it's a dating scenario, act like you've already been out with them and there's already some sort of chemistry there. Whoever it is, just pretend like you already fucking known them and that you've known them for years. Sounds very strange, but if you can get to a point in your mental space when you're meeting somebody new, if you go meet somebody that you already know that you've worked with for years and years, you go, "What's up, Brian? What's going on, man? How are you doing? Hey, cool, man. Hey, I like that shirt, man. Cool." Maybe you'd tease them, you'd pick on them, you'd say something, you'd cut up, you'd make a joke. You wouldn't have any problem making eye contact with them. You wouldn't feel weird. You wouldn't have this weird energy, right? And it's just about owning the situation again, right? This goes back to just being confident. And what you do is you just trick yourself. And then if you can do that, what you're going to find is that people are going to warm up to you really, really fast. And I get people that tell me all the time, they'll be like, I feel like we already know each other. Like, I feel like we've known each other for years. And if you implement this simple technique of pretending like you already know the person, pretending like you've already had a good relationship, like a positive, healthy relationship with them, whether it's friendly, business, dating, whatever, it goes a very, very long way. And it is one way that you can um, supercharge the rate at which you connect with somebody. And I'm telling you, I do this all the time. I've just inherently did it. I don't know how I figured it out, but I used to not be like this. I used to be, a 19-year-old kid that, I'd meet somebody and I wouldn't know what to say or I'd be weird. It's just like, if you pretend like you already know the person or whatever, and you're inquisitive and you show that you're genuinely interested in getting to know them, if you can do those things together, you're going to have a massive, massive amount of charisma and people are going to quickly gravitate towards you. So I hope that that makes sense. If you want to quickly connect with people and get and break through social barriers and make, whether you want to make friends, you want to have success dating, you want to build business relationships, what you do is just act like you already know the person that you're talking with or talking to or meeting for the first time. Just act like you already know them. Act like it's another Tuesday. You've been seeing each other in the office every Tuesday for the past year. And get back with me and let me know how that turns out for you. That's all I got for you guys today. Stay blessed. Like, comment, subscribe, share it. And until next time, peace.